In the world of football, where dreams are forged and destinies are written, a football prodigy who danced with the ball like it was his partner in a lifelong tango. But even the biggest stars can find themselves lost in the unforgiving galaxy of expectations. We unravel the incredible journey of Martin Ødegaard. His father, Hans-Erik Ødegaard, a professional footballer himself, laid the foundation for his son's remarkable journey. Hans-Erik Ødegaard, a midfield dynamo himself, was a regular for Strømgodset for a decade, making over 200 appearances. His passion for the game would shape young Martin's destiny. As Martin once said, he was kicking a ball from the moment he could walk. His home echoed with the sounds of football. The key lesson Martin learned from his father was the value of hard work. He wanted to be the best, and that determination set him on a path to greatness. Growing up in Drammen, Norway, where winter temperatures could be harsh, young Martin and his friends honed their skills on a newly developed artificial pitch, became the foundation of his love for the game. It was here that he developed his skills and ignited his passion. Martin made his way to Strømgodset in 2009. His rise through the ranks was nothing short of meteoric. By the age of 12, he was already a standout player in a nationwide under-16 tournament. At just 13, he made his first debut in a friendly against Mjøndalen, where his father was an assistant manager. At just 15 years old, Martin Ødegaard shattered records by becoming the youngest player ever to represent the Norwegian national team in 2014. A prodigy in the making, his path seemed inevitable. During this period, he also won the award for Tippeligaen Young Player of the Year in 2014. But the most astonishing chapter was yet to come. At the tender age of 16, Martin Ødegaard embarked on a high-profile big-money move to Real Madrid in January 2015. It was a dream come true for the young Norwegian, but dreams can sometimes unravel in the harsh glare of reality. In that fateful year in Norway, more Real Madrid shirts with Ødegaard's names graced the backs of fans than those bearing Ronaldo's iconic moniker. And speaking of the big man himself, 3 months later, Ødegaard took the world by storm as he finally made his debut for the first team, replacing none other than the legendary Cristiano Ronaldo. The world collectively held its breath, anticipating something truly extraordinary. But alas, the magic was elusive. It took a staggering 5 years before Ødegaard would grace the pitch in another league match for Real Madrid. Carlo Ancelotti, the coach at the time of Ødegaard's arrival, would later dub the transfer a PR exercise. When Florentino buys a Norwegian, you just roll with it. And then he decides this kid must play 3 matches with the first team. Alright, he could be the best player in the world, but I couldn't care less because he wasn't the player that I'd asked for. Ødegaard had been promised training with the first team, which meant he hardly ever rubbed shoulders with his actual B-team comrades. He was stuck in the twilight zone, in between 2 teams, and no matter what he did, he never stood a chance from the get-go. During his stint with Zidane at the Castilla, Ødegaard was the magician pulling the strings, leading the assists chart. But when the French maestro took over the first team, all Ødegaard could muster was a cameo in the Copa del Rey against the third-tier squad. With midfield maestros like Modric, Kroos, Casemiro, Khedira, James and Isco, there was hardly room for a young gun to break through. In the eyes of many, Ødegaard was branded a flop, an 18-year-old in freefall. With limited opportunities at Real Madrid, Martin embarked on a series of loan spells to gain the precious playing time he craved. For a fleeting moment, he teetered on the principle of joining Rennes. But in the end, Heerenveen beckoned. Heerenveen was obliged to cough up €40,000 each time he warmed the bench. To be fair, there were occasions where Heerenveen fielded him for mere minutes just to evade the fee. Even when he secured the spot in the starting lineup, many critics branded his time there as mediocre. Some blamed it on a metatarsal injury, others on the quality of his teammates, and a few pointed fingers at the coach for constantly shuffling him around. In the grand scheme, Ødegaard found it tough to make a lasting impression. Real Madrid dispatched him to Vitesse. Here, he didn't just rub shoulders with better players, he reveled in newfound freedom on the pitch. The result, a stunning record of 11 goals and 12 assists in 39 matches, complete with a landslide victory in the race for Vitesse's Player of the Year award. Despite tempting offers from several Premier League giants, Real Madrid decided to loan him to Real Sociedad. And what a revelation that move turned out to be. Ødegaard slipped seamlessly into Sociedad's ranks. By September, he'd already clinched the title as the league's Player of the Month, a mere 10 matches into the season. Real Sociedad found themselves in a stunning third place in the league, just 1 point off the top. They played exquisite football, touted as some of the finest in Europe, and Ødegaard was the beating heart of it all. This was the season that solidified his prowess: 7 goals and 8 assists in his first 24 matches, capturing the heart of fans. Even though the latter part of the season didn't quite match those electrifying beginnings, Real Sociedad secured a coveted spot in the Europa League and embarked on a remarkable Copa del Rey journey. Ødegaard scored or set up goals against every opponent as they clinched their first trophy in 33 years. However, Zidane came knocking again, promising a brighter future. Relying on their shared history in the B team, Ødegaard couldn't resist. But the script took an unexpected twist. Before the new season even kicked off, Ødegaard contracted COVID-19 after just a solitary minute of game time. He got injured while on international duty, sidelining him for a month. Come January, he had started only 3 more matches. It felt like déjà vu. And then came a pivotal call from Mikel Arteta, unveiling his grand vision. As Ødegaard put it, "I challenge anyone to emerge from a meeting with Arteta without believing every word he says." Within days, he donned the red of Arsenal on loan. It was in the midst of adversity that Martin Ødegaard's transformation was complete. He emerged as not a player who'd fallen short at Real Madrid, but as a phoenix rising from the ashes, stronger and more determined. He swiftly won over the fans, sparking a clamour for a permanent deal. By March, he was named captain of the Norwegian national team.
Now that big transfer news, Martin Ødegaard is in London for a medical ahead of a return to Arsenal on a permanent deal. That's after they agreed a fee worth an initial £30 million with Real Madrid.
1 year later, he wore the captain's armband for the Gunners. In the 2022-2023 season, Arsenal stood just a few games away from their Premier League title since 2004. Unfortunately, Manchester City clinched the title right at the finish line. Had it not been for the unexpected arrival of another Norwegian sensation, Ødegaard would be a leading contender for Player of the Year that season. Today, Martin Ødegaard stands as a testament to resilience and hard work. His journey, marked by trials and tribulations, has forged him into the player he is today. He's a modern playmaker who redefines the beautiful game. His deft touch, exceptional technique, and dazzling dribbling ability set him apart, with vision that can pick out a needle in a haystack and a passing range that stretches from one end of the pitch to the other. Ødegaard is often likened to the great Mesut Ozil and the creative genius Guti. His precise bending deliveries from dead balls and set pieces are a true marvel. But Ødegaard is more than just a midfielder. He's a game changer. Arsenal manager Mikel Arteta recognised his exceptional footballing intelligence and work rate, describing him as a player with stamina and immense talent. Ødegaard doesn't just create chances, he works tirelessly to win back possessions for his team, covering vast distances to press opponents effectively. His diminutive stature is offset by his lightning-quick footwork, natural balance, and surprising shooting power. Comparisons to legends like David Silva and Lionel Messi weren't uncommon. Even teammate Morten Gamst Pedersen dubbed him the most talented player he'd ever seen, praising his knowledge of the game and technical skills. Ødegaard is regarded as one of the world's best midfielders. His journey is far from over, and the future of the beautiful game looks brighter with Ødegaard on the pitch. As we look back on the rollercoaster ride that has been his career, Ødegaard's words ring true. Life isn't like a career mode in a video game. You can't just pick where you want to go, and it's not always perfect. But now, every time I step into that stadium, I get goosebumps. The kid I used to be would have given anything for this opportunity. And mark my words, the best is yet to come. Until next time, keep watching, keep cheering, and keep the passion for the beautiful game alive.